Hello and welcome to another video. In this video we're going to be looking at the Overkill's The Walking Dead. It is the interview at E3 and it has quite decent amount of gameplay in it in terms of just showing some first person gameplay, which is what I think a lot wanted to see. Here you go.
Yesterday we featured the final season of Telltale's The Walking Dead. We have a very different type of Walking Dead game to talk about. It was announced way back in 2014. This next game comes from Overkill and Starbreeze. It's ready to take 4-player zombie survival to the next level. I'm joined by Starbreeze brand director Almer Listo and the executive producer Saul Gascon to talk about Overkill's The Walking Dead. I had the pleasure of playing this thing a few weeks ago, and yes, as Almer knows, it's been a long road to get here with this game, but it is playable at E3, right?
Yep, it is. We're finally here.
Finally here. I got to play it a few weeks ago, and it definitely is, it's co-op, but it's very aggressive in that it's scary. It's like you definitely have to stick together. And we first, me and a couple other journalists, about 3 weeks ago, played through it, and we all said, hey, yeah, this is cool, like, let's go in our different directions. No, you have to stick together in this game, I feel like, at least initially, right?
Yeah, we've tried to build experience, so players need to cooperate in order to progress through the levels, right? Yeah. So, it's a difficult game, and it's scary sometimes, but that's what we really are carving for, right? Like, scare people, make them stick together, and just make the day.
We have 3 words that go well with the game: think, fight, live. So you have to think, you have to work together because it's a co-op game after all. You have to fight because it's an action game, and then you have to live. You have to take care of the survivors, have your camp, etc., and survive in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah. Tell us about the setting and story for this, because The Walking Dead, as we know, obviously has many different iterations and different characters. How does this fit into the fiction?
So this is a very good question. We are on canon, right? We build the whole story and the characters with Robert Kirkman and his team at Skybound. Yeah. And we created with them a new story, with a complete new set of heroes, let's say, right? Yeah. And basically players get to experience that story that we built and crafted only for Overkill's The Walking Dead in Washington, D.C.
Players take the role of 4 different survivors: Aiden, Heather, Grant, and Maya, as you traverse through Washington, D.C. and try to get by, essentially.
I was playing. You pick one of the 4 characters, and tell us about the different sort of abilities or traits of those 4 characters.
So like every character has its own, let's say, forte, right? So Aiden, for instance, is more of a brawler. He goes, it's a frontliner, goes with his baseball bat, has more
favorite
health.
baseball bat,
Shotgun, he likes it close and personal. Maya instead is more like a mid-range. So if you're playing Maya, you want to make sure that you support your teammates, make sure that they don't die, basically, right? Grant is more of a, what we call a tactician. Yeah. So he's actually always in the back line, right? And killing enemies from afar and supporting their friends with extra damage boost when he marks enemies, right?
Utilizing sniper rifles, for example,
And Heather is our scout, so she's gonna make sure that you get more loot out of your, let's say, runs through the city.
Wow. No, I was playing this a few weeks ago, same level, and it's definitely one of those ones where there are objectives you're trying to go through, and again, you definitely have to stick together. It's a fierce game if you go out on your own, and pretty scary. In terms of the enemies that you're going to go up against, obviously it's going to advance as you go through it, but tell us, what are some of the abilities and the enemies that we'll see in this game?
So the main enemy is humans, other humans. That's the biggest threat, like in the Walking Dead universe, right? Yeah. So whenever you see a human, you want to usually stealth through. Yeah. Try to trick them using walkers against them, right? And if you make too much noise, if you are, let's say, a bit clumsy, and you just go all guns blazing, then you will attract more and more walkers, right? Yeah. So it's always a fact of finding the good balance between stealth and more action. Yeah. But what we made sure is that it's fun, both when you're stealth and when shit hits the fan, and everything is full of walkers.
So whether or not you fail, right, as a group, you're still gonna have a ton of fun, because when the shit hits the fan, the action is everywhere, and there's walkers all around, and
And this has been long in development for many, many years for you guys. Why has it taken so long?
It's a good question. Yep. We wanted to do it right. Payday 2, that was the game we last released, became really successful. We had a super good post-launch campaign, and it became so successful that we added more resource to that, so we could continue working on the Walking Dead game. But thankfully, we managed to increase the Overkill crew in size, and continue development. And here we finally are, and super ready to release the game. And we just announced that the pre-order is going to go live tomorrow, so we're really excited about that.
All right.
Game's coming out in November. Yeah.
That's great. It's really happening in November.
Yeah.
All
November
right.
6th.
Wow. Well, it looks really cool. It's definitely, as I said, it's a different style of co-op game, methodic, but it really feels like if you stick together and communicate, it's very important to play through it.
We're doing our best together with Robert to try to stay true to the Walking Dead universe, and we really think we're onto something here. And it's going to be so fun to hear what the Walking Dead fans and any other first-person shooter fan thinks about the game when they come here tomorrow. Yeah, so you can check it out themselves.
I get to play it, right?
Yeah, in our booth, in the West Hall.
Awesome.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
right. Well, Starbreeze, you guys have a lot of really interesting games, and you said you take the time to make it right, and I think gamers appreciate that. It's, you've devoted many, many years to developing it, so we'll look forward to seeing more on it tomorrow and checking it out later this year. Folks at Starbreeze. All right.
So that was the interview, and we saw quite a lot of gameplay in there as well. Just knowing that my brother was worried that there wouldn't be like a lot of melee combat, it does look like it's going to be quite a lot. I think it's mainly going to be effective against walkers or zombies or whatever you want to call it. I would call them walkers most of the time. It does sound like humans are going to be quite a big deal. I have seen the trailer as well, and in terms of being able to shut out locks and stuff to ambush human enemies with walker enemies, being able to use the walkers against humans to either as a distraction or to actually take them out is really cool. I think there are a lot of aspects of this that look really interesting. I still need to see a little bit more because they alluded to things like, building up your camp and stuff like this. That's the part of it that I really want to see. I didn't really have any fears about the combat side of it. I knew it was going to be quite similar to Payday 2, and it does look like that. And it looks fine for me. It's exactly what I expected, basically. Is it within the, Walking Dead world? I do that. I do get a real feel of the Walking Dead. It doesn't look the same as Payday 2 in terms of the world, but in terms of the combat, it looks very similar. I want to know about the camps. I want to know about what's going to keep me coming back and playing more, and I want to know about the story missions. Surely there's going to be story evolution here. That's what Walking Dead's all about. It's all about story progression, and it's all about survival. If you ever played Payday 2, it was mainly about trying to beat the missions on the hardest difficulty, being one of the only people to have done that, or the first people, or so on and so forth. Upgrading your character to, do certain things. Now, I can see upgrades being in this, but in terms of beating things on the hardest difficulty, most people who want to play the Walking Dead stuff want the storyline and they want the survival aspect of it. I don't think, especially of zombie apocalypse games, it's all about the survival aspect. So I want to see more about that part side of the game, really. It has dropped on Steam as well, so the pre-order is available. It does cost quite a lot, in my opinion. £46, $50 for me, and $59 if you're in North America. It is quite expensive. I'm going to have to see a lot more to really warrant shipping out that sort of money. That's like AAA standard in terms of cost. That's nearly triple the price of Telltale Games The Walking Dead, which I pre-ordered, and I was happy to pre-order it instantly. I did delay it a little bit, but I have already pre-ordered now. But I'm going to have to see a lot more. I still like the look of this game, but it is expensive, and either that's going to change or that's not, and I'm going to, like I say, I'm going to have to see a lot more. What do you guys think, though? Do you like the look of the game? Do you like the potential? It is Walking Dead world, of course, so you're going to see a lot of stuff about that. But that is the end of this video, guys, and I will see you in the next one.